Alrighty, we are back. It's your favorite player, the Gamerman, and we're back with another episode of the 7th Enigma. I forgot where we last left off. Okay, now I remember. We're back with Beckett, and we're gonna learn about his backstory and why he's doing everything he did. And once again, thank you for all the support and series you guys have given me recently, and keep on bringing it. Alrighty, Dad, why did you leave? Why did you have to leave? Huh? Starting off like that already. Why is always somebody's dad leaving when it's due to time travel? Yeah. I don't say all the time, but like most cases, anytime we time travel, somebody's dad left them and they're doing something they regret just because the dad left them. It isn't something I want to do, son. I want to stay here with you and your mother. I'd give anything for that to be possible. Then just say, I don't understand, isn't that what you want? It is, more than anything, but son, we don't live in that kind of world anymore. I don't get it. Why are you leaving us? I'm going to tell you something I want you to remember. Promise me you won't forget. Only if you promise to stay. I promise I'll do what I can for you, okay? Now listen to me carefully, okay? I know you're a risk taker and you were unlucky to get too much of my genes in you, boy. But know that you cannot change this world. It's far too gone. It's English is hard in the early morning. Its rulers are set? Or its rules are set? Its rulers are set. It is impossible to find them now. The door has now closed. I know that too well. Dad, survive, keep your head down, work your way up, make most of what you can. I want you to survive. Be smart and don't defy them like your idiot father. Survive. Daddy, what door is closed? Where are you going? You know soon enough, son. I love you. Take care of your mother for me. Dad, wait. That was the last time I saw my father after he simply vanished. When I joined the order, I joined defense division of Bureau to keep my head down and working my way up like he said. There, I learned he has been executed for subversion attempts against the Bureau. He gave himself in to protect my mother and I. That is what he meant when he promised he would do what he could for us on that day. I'll never forget his words. They are etched into me. I will bide my time and work my way up. I'll get my hands dirty, obey every order to the time when the power is mine and I can rise above them all. I will obey, I will survive. This is my creed. That was my final promise to him. I feel like there's gonna be something to like destroy his creed. He says he want all the power, power to be above all else. I feel like when I just create a new cycle of just a power abuse. I mean, yeah, assuming he used it for good, but yeah, with all that power, there's only so much time before it corrupts him, which just leads to another cycle. Actually, that's interesting. So if you haven't noticed about this game, is about time travel in a sense, more like just time looping and creating another loop. And I'm thinking of, since he made that creed, I'm getting ahead of myself actually. So let me explain just a bit. We'll explain the last episode. Go check that out because they explain more of a loop back in that one. But it's a rough round. One loop will send information about that loop to another loop, and which, as a result, it will create another loop. However, the loop that sent the information is now gone, since that technically quote unquote didn't happen. But the information in loop 1 creates another in loop 2, if you get what I'm saying. I might have a diagram to show what I mean, I might not. But yeah, let's say loop 1 is started, then I get information from loop 2, well then loop 2 sent information, and then loop 1 got the information from loop 2. However, since it received information from loop 2 doesn't exist anymore because loop 1 path has changed because of loop 2. So therefore another loop 2 existed, and therefore loop 3 sent information to loop 2, and therefore loop 3 created, but the other loop 3 is destroyed. It sounds really weird, but in my other episode, it explains a little bit more with the physics, which is taught in physics class for good reason. But yeah, let's get back to the episode after that tangent. The group is seated on the ground around a small central fire, plates in hand as they speed through the meal. Good food, hey Elijah? Yeah, I thought we'd be eating some whole ration or something. So this is a surprise Pokemon. I don't blame you if you live like this. What is this anyway? It is a curved dish made with chicken alternative. So this is real chicken? How would you think you are? Of course it's real chicken. If there's one thing outside of his mission that Iker is passionate about, it is cooking. With the right ingredients, he can make this stuff taste like the real thing. Better than the real thing, I believe you meant to say. Wow, better watch out. Team Liz is gonna spike your next dish if you say something like that again. I would never. By the time you poison Jasper's dish after you salt your synthetic fried fish. That wasn't my fault. It was that as the two of them continue to bicker, Zala turns to Elijah. Don't worry, Elijah. Iker and Levi go ahead like this at sometimes. Levi jokes about everything. Iker couldn't smell a joke. It was under his nose. But what about that synthetic fried fish though? So would you gonna blow past that? Or the fact that Jasper got poisoned? I mean, he could be joking, but still. Would you gonna let that slide through? Okay, let's go. It's kind of nice. Something about it feels homely, I guess. It's nice to see you smile at least. Well, time to stop these two anyways. Okay, time to move on, guys. Ah, yes. Sorry. You all seem pretty close. You've been together for a while. Iker and I have. The others not as long. We spent so much time together though. We have become like a little family fairly quickly. Somebody's getting betrayed. Anytime something says something about family, like Vin Diesel from the Fast and the Furious, somebody either gonna die, betray each other, or both. So yeah, Yeah, I'm foreshadowing someone's gonna get betrayed within this group. Jasper switches position, walking over and sitting himself next to Elijah. You feeling okay now, Elijah? Yeah, good as I can be, I guess. Then now is probably the time to fill you in on the rest then, if you're up to it. Sure are hitting me with a lot of information from frontline. Hard to know what to make of it all. I'm still just trying to piece myself together, let alone all these praise and claims. Still, there's no point in dragging this out. We're gonna have to find out sooner or later. Can't figure out what I think of all this when I have more information. I'm ready, let's continue. So where were we up to? Heard about the Tempest system and how it can send a message to the past and how the BOC has used it to take control. Then you said something strange about how there wouldn't be much of humanity left without BOSC. Okay, got it. The rest of the group grew silent as they turned their attention to Jasper as he pulled out his tablet. Strap yourself in for this one, Elijah. It's a lot to take in. Now that you know how the Tempest system works, it's time I shared the full story of what happened in the original timeline, called Timeline O. That is how the transmitter was built and how the BOC rose to power. I have the power. Wow, that's cool. That's a cool diagram one up. FEV47, original outbreaks was unknown, European content. The key event that led to all of this was a deadly pandemic that struck the world in the year 2047. It was on a scale much worse than anything that hit the planet before it. This new type of virus called FE47 had the ability to cross the blood-brain barrier. Its worst symptom was swelling, with severe swelling inflicted on the brain. That is brain hemorrhage, if I believe. That is terrifying. It was a horrible disease that caused intense suffering before almost a certain death. Survival rates were well under 1% of those caught it, and those did survive were left severely disabled. Absolutely horrible. To make matters worse, the disease was also highly infectious. Once the government instigated all kind of protocol to stop the spread of the disease, ultimately they were going to spread it slow while they searched for a cure or vaccine. While they were researching the disease, another project garnered a huge amount of attention and funding. Care to guess what it was? The Tempest system. Correct. The first receiver was already complete by Dr. Tara Evans in 2044. It was a city and credit transmitter could send a warning to the past. It could also send instructions on how to make a vaccine or cure 3 years before it happened. They could save billions of lives to stop disease before it happened. Oh, that would explain how the BOC took control. Said it, I won't say it became a pharmaceutical company, but they basically developed the cure back then. Or at least had somebody develop a cure back then, and took all the fame and notoriety that they created a cure for disease. If they can time it right, then look like they just figured out just in time as it either started or as it would continue on. That's a good way to take control. I mean, another way you also could take control is start making a bunch of diseases and just make slightly variation of the pandemic that happened in 2047 and take even more control. That's one way to take control, actually. Everything was poured into these two projects. Those that were left accepted their only hope was to complete these projects before humanity's end. The vaccine for the virus, along with instructions on how to develop vaccines for likely mutant strands, was completed first in 2056. So most people are probably dead by now, since it took 8 years. Population left alive at the time was estimated to be around 100 million. 700, that's like over 90% dead. 100 million. Whoa, I never knew it got that bad. Yes, although there was now a vaccine, there were now other issues that flowed from the devastation of society, like a manpower and skills meant starvation, among other things, which was around the corner for the majority of people. It was a race against time to complete the transmitter before humanity collapsed completely. But what many consider to be a complete miracle, the breakthrough came at the end of 2057. They figured out how to reliably pair the receiver with the transmitter, ensuring the stable communication through the entangled Tempest particles. After a few more years, the transmitter was completed in 2059. Miracle 59. The story reminded constantly. The fact we're all here is a miracle. It is a cautionary tale for us not to take our safety for granted. This will happen on the old line. So now this is the year 2060, so all this happened in the past. I guess they succeeded in the plan, but how? How did they manage to convince people to take the threat seriously, that it wasn't some prank? See, a message in a vaccine claiming from the future doesn't sound very convincing. Let alone getting it developed and interjected worldwide. Never thought about it. I never thought about that one. How did they do it? I'm assuming they probably just waited for a bit, then created the vaccine. While they were developing the machine, they spent years creating a digital package for the past government to contain all kinds of proof. Video and photos of the future and of disease impact, technological tech breakthroughs. I'm not trying to say all that. Government information, they left nothing to chance. The digital evidence sent was overwhelming. It must have been a big file size, and the Tempest system able to sense that much data at once. That's pretty easy too. It does take some quite time for the machines to decode the information on this this in after receiving the file. But other than a large file size, no problem. Anyway, I'm sure you'll hear more along the way, so let's give you a short version of the rest for now. On this new loop, Dr. Tara Evans received transmission from 2059 almost instantly after starting up to her receiver from the first time in 2044. So therefore, effectively created a line 1. Since this line no longer exists, it has been avoided. She contacted the government and very swiftly it decided to dedicate a group of experts needed to be ones to look into and decide how to respond to the situation. Chosen for the roles were top experts in various scientific and health fields, as well as representatives from tech institutes. The Bureau of Safety and Control Formation. The Bureau had a difficult task, but in fairness to them, they did an incredible job at the time. They thoroughly examined the information sent through the system, and then they managed to convince the world to take the threat seriously. There was no small feat given how extraordinary the claims were. The vaccine was prepared, and through a global ship effort, the world was saved. 13 years ago from today, the pandemic hit the world, just as Tempest message predicted, with around 12 million casualties. While tragic, this means about 8 billion lives were saved compared to the first loop. 8 billion lives were saved. I guess a group of dedicated survivors were able to respond much more effectively to the government, saving so many lives. That is really incredible. After the vaccination effort, measures were tightened in name of our safety. As you can imagine, the world was on edge of both pandemic and the knowledge Tempest system. So the BOC stepped in to fill the gap. Right, learn of a pandemic that could wipe out all of humanity and the knowledge something that time can manipulate. The world will of course cause an absolute panic. BOC used this fair's opportunity to wield their newfound powers and they begin endeavoring to take the lead in a broader set of associated safety issues. Neuroscanners were installed throughout the city to detect unusual brain size and activity, all on purpose for a variant strand of disease. So it's like the book on 1987, I believe it's called. We're talking about Big Brother and whatnot, which predicted like something close to this. If not, like this game took even further of that book about like being a big brother and everything being controlled. Everyone was okay with it. It seemed to be a smart precaution at the time. BOC had the Tempest system had made the Tempest system public knowledge, couldn't allow some of the videos and the photo evidence through from the last loop to be shown on mainstream media. If they had not done this, there's no way they could have garnered the support for the vaccination. That's why don't forget the keyword some. You only show some of it, not all of it. Which, to be fair, you don't want to show everything out because you don't know who will take advantage of it. But there's a reason they want to show something. Apart from existence that footage, they kept most things to do the Tempest system a secret. The work on machines were of course secret even from governments. The high risk of it being used for the wrong purpose is far too high. You could send information to the past. You can essentially manipulate and control the future. People just got used to trusting the BOC. After all, it seemed like they had proven themselves through the time of the pandemic. Somebody had to guard this technology, and the people of the world felt more comfortable with a group of experts in BOC rather than any government. I don't blame them. I guess they trust the monopolies better than being out in the open. Otherwise, it would be an all-time manipulation war. Gonna dismiss that. Hoping that didn't pop up. So I had a Windows Defender pop up and say, "Hey, you got me a Windows Defender on." I'm like, "I know. Back off." Since then, BOC has slowly taken more and more control of our lives. The brain scanner suddenly became also used for ID tracking and natural scanning for mutation of a disease. Of course, this is all done in the name of safety. Funny. After all, if you've done nothing wrong, you don't have anything to afraid of, do you? The technology used by the BOC suddenly became much more sophisticated, whilst that accessibility to the population was hardly changing all in decades. It's almost certainly the case that they have been sending future tech back to the past to strengthen the control. As they would say, for our safety. There is no way to know how many loops the BOC has gone through since the first message received in Lano. As we know, in the last few years, the restriction on the lines have gotten significantly worse. Yeah, those BOC bastards have gotten to the point where you feel like you can't blink without the permission. Something gotta give. So is it going to take down the BOC? And how you plan to do that? If it was up to us, we would have no hope. We are here to follow the founder's plan. He's our only hope. Speaking of which, I think it's time you heard from him directly. We will go for the first thing tomorrow. Everyone prepare to move out. Alright, I think this is enough for tonight. The rest will become clear tomorrow. Make sure you get a good night's sleep. Y'all will know what tomorrow will hold. As they were shown to a portable sleeping mat, Elijah lying down now in the carnivorous dark underground base. Though he feel exhausted, the disquiet of his circumstance and surrounding impresses upon him Elijah as he opened his eyes of restlessness. His thoughts swirled as trying to make sense of the magnitude of his present circumstances. Just what in the world have been caught up in the middle of? Global conspiracies, memory loss? This is absurd. That stuff doesn't happen in real life. But how do I even know that? Well, I mean, what even I'm basing off this? I can't remember anything. This is beyond bizarre. Is any of this real or just have gotten insane? Elijah pictured himself desperate to gain clarity among the confusion. Something's quite right here. Why is this group interested in helping me? They do seem nice though, but I can't be sure if I can trust them. In fact, right now I can't be sure of anything. Time travel, really? A group is making changes to reality that we have to stop. I'm supposed to be in the midst of all that, I have to be careful. This could be easy to employ to start just stringing along. Group probably wants something out of me. Then again, when they mentioned Dr. Tara Evans, something definitely came to mind. I don't think the story is clear fabrication at the very least. Zala seems genuine enough. If she wasn't around, I don't know if I'll be able to trust you guys at all. There's something about her too, but I can't let myself get carried away. I remain skeptical until I'm really sure I can trust him until I recover some of my memory. I have to watch and wait while I gain as much information as possible. Hopefully this meeting with Found tomorrow will make it clear. Despite Elijah's attempts, he's unable to regain any memories nor any clarity. Eventually sleep comes for Elijah, though it's not as irresistible as we hope. Vernibus? And that's where I'm going to stop right here. Because this seemed like we just jumped 38 years into the future for some reason. At least I think so. But yeah, I'm going to stop right here. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. And if it's your favorite player, the Gamer Man. And bye.